There are great goal scorers in football history, and then there are players like Matt Le Tissier who seem capable of creating things that should not have been physically possible on a football pitch. In an era dominated by brutal defending, aggressive tackles, and direct football, Le Tissier played with a level of imagination and technical genius that made him look completely different from everyone around him. While most players searched for the safest pass or simplest finish, he attempted volleys from impossible angles, outrageous long-range strikes, delicate chips, and first-touch finishes that left crowds frozen in disbelief. Every time the ball reached his feet, stadiums held their breath because something magical could happen at any second. But what made Le Tissier truly special was not just the beauty of his goals, it was the effortless calmness with which he created them. He played football like an artist, ignoring every rule of logic, turning impossible moments into normal routine. And decades later, many fans still believe football has never produced another player quite like him. Matt Le Tissier was not the kind of footballer who needed constant movement, explosive pace, or endless pressing to dominate a match. His power came from something much rarer: imagination. In a football era built around aggression and physical intensity, Le Tissier played with impossible calmness, almost as if the chaos around him did not exist. Defenders rushed toward him desperately while he casually controlled impossible passes, lifted delicate chips over goalkeepers, or unleashed long-range strikes that seemed to break the laws of football physics. Every touch carried confidence, and every moment near the ball felt dangerous because fans understood they were watching a player capable of creating magic from absolutely nothing. During the 1990s, English football was filled with brutal defenders, muddy pitches, and fast physical battles that often left little room for technical creativity. Most teams focused on direct passing, hard tackles, and simple attacking football because survival mattered more than beauty. But Le Tissier looked completely disconnected from that environment. While other players rushed their decisions under pressure, he slowed the game down effortlessly with his first touch and natural composure. It often looked like defenders were moving at full speed while Le Tissier existed in slow motion, calmly waiting for the perfect moment to humiliate them. With skill and precision. One of the most unbelievable things about Le Tissier was the variety of goals he scored throughout his career. Some players become famous for headers, others for free kicks or penalties, but Le Tissier seemed capable of scoring every type of impossible goal imaginable. He could smash unstoppable volleys from outside the box, curl shots perfectly into the top corner, chip goalkeepers from ridiculous distances, or control impossible passes before finishing calmly with one touch. What made those goals special was not just technical quality, it was the creativity behind them. Most footballers would never even attempt the things Le Tissier tried during matches because the risk of failure felt too high. But for him, impossible. Ideas felt completely natural. Fans quickly realized that watching Le Tissier meant expecting the unexpected every single week. Even when Southampton struggled as a team, supporters still filled stadiums hoping to witness one moment of magic from their number 10. There were matches where he would appear quiet for long periods before suddenly producing a goal so outrageous that commentators struggled to describe it properly. Defenders could mark him tightly for 90 minutes and still become victims of one impossible touch or shot that changed the entire game instantly. That unpredictability made him one of the most entertaining footballers of his generation. Unlike many superstars of the era, Le Tissier chose loyalty over fame and remained with Southampton FC for most of his career instead of joining Europe's biggest clubs. Teams with larger budgets and stronger squads wanted him desperately because everyone recognised his world-class talent. But Le Tissier preferred freedom and comfort over pressure and celebrity status. At Southampton, he became more than just a player. He became the soul of the club itself. Fans adored him because he represented loyalty in an era where football was becoming increasingly commercial and ambitious stars constantly chased trophies. Elsewhere, that loyalty also gave Le Tissier something many modern footballers rarely experience: complete creative freedom. At Southampton, he was allowed to express himself naturally without managers trying to over-control every movement. Modern football often demands strict tactical discipline and constant pressing responsibilities, but Le Tissier played with instinct rather than robotic structure. He drifted into dangerous spaces, attempted outrageous techniques, and trusted his imagination completely. That freedom helped create many of the unforgettable goals that still appear in football highlight compilations decades later, because he played without fear of making mistakes. Despite his incredible talent, Le Tissier never became a global football superstar in the way players from bigger clubs often did. One major reason was simply the club he played for. Southampton did not compete regularly for major European trophies or dominate global headlines, which limited international attention around him. In modern football, social media and worldwide broadcasting would likely have turned his outrageous goals into global viral moments instantly. But during the 1990s, football media was far less international, and many casual fans outside England never fully understood how gifted Le Tissier truly was. Another reason Le Tissier remained different from typical football celebrities was his personality. He never chased fame aggressively or built himself into a glamorous superstar image. In many ways, he seemed perfectly comfortable avoiding the chaos and pressure that followed football icons playing for giant clubs. While others chased medals and media attention, Le Tissier appeared happiest simply enjoying football on his own terms. That relaxed personality became part of his identity because he looked like someone playing the game purely for creativity rather than business or status. Many former players and fans still believe football has become too structured to produce another talent quite like Le Tissier today. Modern systems demand non-stop pressing, tactical discipline, and strict positioning from attacking players, leaving far less room for individual imagination. Coaches now prioritize efficiency and structure because mistakes can destroy carefully organized systems. But Le Tissier belonged to a rare generation of footballers allowed to trust instinct and personal creativity above rigid tactical instructions. His style felt spontaneous, unpredictable, and emotionally free in a way modern football rarely allows anymore. Defenders during the 1990s were notoriously aggressive, yet even they struggled against Le Tissier because physical pressure alone could not stop genius. Some players rely heavily on athleticism, meaning defenders can disrupt rhythm through strength and speed, but Le Tissier defeated opponents mentally as much as physically. His balance, calmness, and technical ability allowed him to create opportunities from impossible situations, even when surrounded by aggressive challenges. Defenders often looked frustrated because they knew exactly how dangerous he was, yet still could not predict what he would do next. One of the reasons Le Tissier's goals remain unforgettable is because many of them still look unreal even decades later. Football evolves constantly, but his best moments continue surviving across generations because they feel timeless. Young fans watching his highlights today often react with disbelief because the creativity and technical execution still appear impossible compared to normal football standards. Some goals seem so outrageous that people almost expect them to exist only in video games rather than real professional matches. That timeless quality is what separates legendary football artists from ordinary great players. For Southampton supporters, Le Tissier represented more than just talent. He represented identity, pride, and emotional connection to the club itself. Fans knew they were watching someone capable of playing for Europe's biggest teams, yet he chose to stay loyal instead. That loyalty created a unique bond between player and supporters because it felt genuine rather than commercial. Every magical goal became part of Southampton's history, and every impossible moment strengthened Le Tissier's status as the club's ultimate cult hero. Even today, many Southampton fans speak about him with almost mythical admiration. Today, Matt Le Tissier remains one of football's greatest entertainers and one of the most naturally gifted English players ever produced. His goals continue living through highlight videos because they still feel magical in ways modern football rarely delivers anymore. In a brutal era filled with physical battles and tactical simplicity, he brought elegance, creativity, and imagination to the sport. And for many football fans, he remains proof that the true beauty of football is not always about trophies or statistics. Sometimes it is simply about doing things nobody else on earth could possibly repeat.